Okay, first thing that I wanted to address. This move right here, okay? The down slash or fast fall. The move itself is not the issue. The issue is the fact that the down slash is hard binded to RT, okay? So RT in this case is this button, which is my heavy slash. So just to clarify this, let's go on options and we'll change up a few controls here. So, use directional shard, that would be your heavy slash. Or, in this case it is. By default, it's RT. So, let's say that we change this to, I don't know, let's put it to LT on my stick. So, it's going to be this right here, okay? We'll go back in game. So, now when I press this button, this is the heavy slash now. So, if I try to do a fast fall using heavy slash, it will not work. So that kind of happens. But if I press on RT, which in my case it's this right here. Right now it has no input. But if I do the up slash followed by an unbinded button, which is this, it works. So this proves that specifically the down slash for some reason is hard binded to RT. I know that on screen it says R1 RB. But I had to do some funky wiring on my stick so that I could have the RT button placed over here instead of all the way on the far right. So yeah, that's pretty much the first issue. For the second issue, something that happens when you slide and then hold up after is your character remains locked in crouching position. Strangely enough, for some reason. If you try to up slash, it does not work when you're locked like this. However, if I release the joystick, I'm going to start backdashing. Okay? Again, that's just odd. So something that kind of sucks as well is, let's say if you want to slide and try to do an up slash after, you can still do it, but it's kind of like you kind of have to snap into it. But let's say if you slide and you're stuck like this, you won't be able to up slash after. So something to go around this is, let's say you just remain still and then go for the up slash after the slide, or as soon as you slide into position, you jump and then do the up slash. But nonetheless, this is something that does happen that is kind of annoying. Okay, the last issue that I wanted to escalate is quite major in my opinion. So this right here is your quarter circle forward attack. It's basically a super version of the heavy slash, right? This is what you want to use ideally to melt bosses. Now, the issue stems from the fact that if you input at half circle after pressing forward, for some reason you're going to get a super dash instead. So what do I mean by this? A super dash is forward back forward attack, right? A way that you can do a quarter circle forward attack is also by half circle forward attack, which still works, right? So this is just quarter circle forward, this is half circle forward attack. Still works. Now, if you input forward before doing a half circle back, for some reason, the super dash input is going to come out. Like such, okay? There's a pretty good chance that when you use analog or joystick, sometimes you will miss input and hit back first before doing a quarter circle. Hence, it makes a half circle. So, this is what kind of doesn't make sense to me. A super dash is forward back forward attack, right? But if you for some reason input forward and then half circle back, it still counts as a super dash. It still counts as if the move will come out as if you're doing forward back forward, which technically you are. But you're also doing a down down forward forward motion. So wouldn't it make sense that the quarter circle forward attack comes out instead of the super dash? So going slowly, you're doing forward, back, half circle forward, attack. But yet, the super dash still comes out. So this is especially annoying with boss fights, because if you're trying to go back and forth and adjust, accidentally, you could be doing this, right? You have to make sure that you're really still and you're hitting down instead of back, especially when going forward. So this, I'm not sure if we could classify this as a bug. If it's intended, I'm not sure. But if anything, like, this doesn't seem correct in my books. So ultimately, it's up to the devs. But this is something that is extremely, extremely annoying in boss fights. Again, when using a DualShock 4, something like this doesn't really happen because what you're hitting feels more precise. Like, if you're hitting down, you're straight up hitting down. But on joystick, if you're flinging it back and forth, it will happen that sometimes you will hit the back input after hitting forward. Hence, you get this, right? So that's something that I've noticed. I wonder what the devs would say about this, if they would actually fix it. Again, in my books, even though you're doing a forward-back forward motion altogether, if you're hitting a down quarter circle forward motion, you should get the quarter circle forward input rather than a super dash. So, and that's pretty much all I got, really. So, again, I'm hoping that the devs are going to look into this. I'm not betting on it, but if no one's going to escalate the issue, I'll do it. So, and that's pretty much all I got. So, if you're watching this, thank you very much for taking your time. Have a good one.